So Tabea, I am so glad that you're here with me today. This is Tabea Oppliger, and she's the author of the book Unfiltered. And is that correct, Tabea? Unfiltered?
Hashtag no filter.
No filter, forgive me, that's wrong. So author, she's a passionate activist, she's the co-founder and leader of the social business Kite Pride, which is an eco-friendly fashion upcycle. They do sails and parasails and wetsuits, and also the nonprofit Global Act. And she is her partner, she's co-founds with her partner, husband, Matt, and she is committed to freeing people from forced labor and forced prostitution. And on top of that, she is an adventurer who loves surfing and kite surfing. So I am just so honored to have you here. And you are actually in Tel Aviv. So late for me, early for you. And so thank you for taking your morning to meet with us and just share in the Legacy Lounge. So yeah, Tabea, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're pleased to have you here. So the first question I actually wanted to ask you was, what does legacy mean to you?
So I think it's kind of shifted. When I was younger and heard legacy, I automatically thought of somebody standing at a funeral and, you know, having a speech on what legacy this person left. And the older I get, the more I realize that legacy is actually living in the present. It's actually, how do I live today, and what and who will I be known for, or also what actions will I be known for once I, you know, part from this earth. So it's become much more of a present thing and living way more conscious of the present.
That's wonderful. I love that. And I love that notion of being engaged in the present and how that translates to creating a future for us too, the future not only for us but for generations to come and stuff. So so why legacy? Do you want to tell me a little bit about the story behind your motivation for why you build legacy?
I think legacy is something that has been given to me to pass on. It's really it's movement. It's not some sort of history label, or it's actually I almost want to say legacy is not a noun, it's a verb. It's really just living, and living in a way that it's so important to just know that it's not just for myself. I'm not living for myself. I'm living for a greater purpose, for a higher cause. Again, to hand over or pass on to another generation, and also to leave the world a little bit better for those who are coming after me, and not just thinking of myself. So it's very, very important for me to live in a very conscious, present, purposeful way.
I love that, your analogy of movement and the idea of being conscious, because I remember you actually posting on social about surfing and how that's taught you to be very present and in the moment. And I think about movement when I think about surfing. Is there anything you want to draw with regard to that in your experience with surfing?
Yeah, so basically when you're in the lineup scanning the horizon for waves, not every wave is a wave that you can surf. So you got to kind of wait for the set, because usually waves come in sets, and then there's kind of a period that just ripples out, and then another set comes, and the set usually brings a couple of waves with them. A beginner will be like, is that a wave? Why did you know when to paddle? And that's a skill you also develop by being present. And then when you see that wave, you have to be so ready to paddle into it, and then it takes you. And I think that's the whole thing also with legacy. If you're present, if you see what's coming at you, if you see what's coming for you, if you see what's actually a gift to you, if you're not ready to actually then ride that wave, then you'll miss something, but you'll have another opportunity. It's not like you've lost everything. You can just paddle out again and try again, and you'll fall and all of that. Mm-hmm. But surfing has taught me so much on life.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a really beautiful analogy. I love that. And that for me, presence is holds a real special place in my heart, you know, and just that a practice of that too. So daily. So do you want to share a little bit about what you're doing right now that you're hoping to impact this generation? I know you have tons on your plate, so whatever you feel like resonates the most right now with what you want to share. So
yeah, so what I briefly tapped into before, of just living in a way that you're not living for yourself, but living to make the world a little bit a better place. It's about living in a world where you look up, look around, see people in need, look beyond what is just in your little comfort zone. And I'm not saying that everyone's called to do, you know, whatever I'm doing now, or to go places and to build wells and to take care of orphans and to go to Africa or Asia or whatever. I'm not saying that. It's really just about that consciousness again, and the living present, and seeing what is in my environment, in my sphere of influence, that I can actually do to help make the world a better place. And so by me living in a very conscious way, when I suddenly looked up, looked around, and especially heard about human trafficking and the just that form of modern day slavery, of taking advantage of people's vulnerability, whatever situation, life situation they were in, saying they did have a choice, but they actually don't have a choice.
yeah.
And then really basically luring them into a business, into the sex industry, taking advantage of their body, stripping them of dignity, value every single day, using them as commodities, as products, selling them every day, putting a price tag on a human being. That just shocked me. And again, it's either it goes straight into your heart and you do something about it, or, you know, you just kind of look the other way. And for me, this was just something where I just realized, okay, what can I do about it? And obviously it's not me alone, it's a whole team now. But
Yeah.
long story short, this whole look up, look around, listen, look it in the eye, led to me creating a social business with a team. My husband joined, and we create jobs for men and women trapped in the sex industry who actually finally make their way out, but they don't find jobs, obviously, you know, the first few weeks they're out of the sex industry.
Yeah.
So first of all, they need to be rehabilitated in a holistic way. They have to, you know, get free of usually drugs, alcohol, trauma. So it's usually a place of just, we don't take them straight off the street, but once they're ready to be reintegrated into society, we are actually a workspace that invites these people in and gives them a second chance. And so this is definitely a legacy that I hope to leave in a way that people will continue what we've done and are still doing, obviously, and also ignite fires in other people to say it is possible. You can do anything with not knowing everything. All it takes is willingness and just, yes, sacrifice. But this is something that I'm sure of, that I'm already living a legacy now, and I will definitely leave one.
And that's an intentionally engaged legacy of freedom. And that's a big vision, and certainly is not just this generation, but is generations to come, that there would be freedom for generations to come.
Kite Pride is a stepping stone for their future, so they don't stay within our business. We do train, equip, empower them. Those who want to stay can keep being seamstresses in our little studio, and even, you know, step up into design, into production, into one of the girls even then went on to do accounting, then helped with the accounting within our company, and now she's moved on to her father's business and is doing accounting there. So just give them kind of that grounding that they need, and then they can move on. So this is something we're doing, but also the aspect of what we do, what material we actually use. So we upcycle kite surfing sails, yacht sails, parachutes, wetsuits. This is all material that just goes to landfill. This is, we're talking, you know, the type of material that does not just dissolve and become earth and whatever. So when I started the social business, I suddenly realized, you know, when customers would come in, they were like, wow, but that's expensive. And I realized, yes, because upcycling is expensive. You get an old and a torn and a broken kite, and you spend a lot of time opening up that kite, seeing which parts of the kite can I use. And so this is a commitment to invest time in taking something old and turning it into new. And so it's just kind of like, people want it fast, want it cheap, but I always say, if it's cheap for you, somebody else is paying the price. It's a lifestyle that has a price tag on it, in the sense of you will not be getting as much as somebody else who's just going to buy cheap. But it's really creating that consciousness of, hey, let's think about the whole chain of production here and end consumer, and let's think about those factories. Where are my clothes made? Who's making my clothes? Are they safe? Are they paid well? All of these things. And I think by doing what we're doing, and living in a world where everyone wants everything, and being in normal schools and being with people who just are not aware of all these things, it gives us opportunity to talk about it. And it's really about, again, just boils down to what I said at the beginning. It's living present, living conscious, and thinking a bit further than just yourself.
Yeah, it's a bigger vision, and that whole thing of stepping away from fast fashion, or even the notion of like designed obsolescence, and not making use of what we currently have. And yeah, I think that's amazing. If you were to think of something that really like keeps you awake at night, hopefully you still sleep okay, but things that keep you awake at night that you feel like just needs to change, and what that is, and then do you feel like there's a solution for it? So.
Yeah, what definitely keeps us awake, and what I often just say is, why do people who actually have no money need money to do good? There's so much money in this world that is distributed completely unfairly, and I have such a sense of justice, and I'm just like, it's just not fair. And then my dad's voice rings in my ear. He says, life's not meant to be fair. But you can do with whatever's handed to you, and turn lemons into lemonade, and just do what you can. But I think that's something that I often go to. Again, we just came out of a fundraiser, and there is disappointment there, where you reach out to people who, they're very, very wealthy, and you just kind of expect them to donate a lot, and then they give the least, and those who are really just even struggling to keep their family alive, and they'll give way more, and you're just going, it's just not fair. So that's something that keeps me awake. I'm like, how can we just have a fair distribution?
Well, and that would certainly, your sense of justice and the whole just honoring the sense of freedom that you want for people, I think that's very much aligned with who you are. And yeah, I just think that continuing to raise our voice around justice issues, and helping people to understand that this isn't just an isolated one or two or few people, that that labor that is forced is a real situation, and the whole forced prostitution or sex slavery is an issue, and we can make a difference in it. We can make a choice to be, like you say, engaged and conscious of what's happening, and participate in a way that makes a difference for people. And so yeah, I love that I get to hear your voice, and I know that you've been very involved and very committed. You've been in Israel, is it for 8 years, going on 9 years? Is that correct? Yeah. So, and your home is originally Switzerland, correct?
Yeah, but I grew up in Papua New Guinea, which also tells the
accent. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if people felt so led to be engaged with what you guys are doing and would love to support you, do you want to just let them know how they could do that?
Yeah, so we have an online shop, kitepride.com. We have all our accessories, bags, things we sell on there. We ship worldwide. Yeah, so that's a great way to support. And then we have a non-profit called Global Act, globalact.com. That's our non-profit, and there we just share stories, have a newsletter. We raise funds through that page. We raise awareness, create a sensitivity towards the topic. People can send requests for me to come and speak. My book is definitely on there. And yeah, so there's a lot of ways to get engaged.
If they want to follow you on IG, it's Tabea Oppliger. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tabea. It's been amazing to talk with you. I just feel like you're a voice in the earth that we need to hear more. And so I just appreciate the time that you've taken to be with us and share your thoughts on legacy. And I truly do believe that you and your family are making a difference. And yeah, I just encourage people to partner with that difference. And if they can't be present in Israel, or can't be present to do those things, to help to be part of the solution by funding and just spreading the word. So yeah, it's amazing to just be able to share this time with you and hear your thoughts on legacy. And I just love your thoughts around consciousness and presence. So yeah, amazing to chat with you. So
thank you so much.
Bye.